Borno State has been on a progressive journey in the last decade, having surmounted its peculiar security challenges. The state is fast becoming a model of economic prosperity and the pride of northern Nigeria. Welcome to Borno Restoration. I'm Jessie Tafida. Monguno town, about 138 kilometers away from Maiduguri, the Borno State capital, is one of the worst hit by Boko Haram insurgency. The community was sacked sometime in January 2015, resulting to the deaths of hundreds and tens of thousands displaced. But as peace returns, the Zulum administration has brought back people to pick up pieces of their lives. 1,000 two-bedroom semi-detached locust houses and another 900 semi-permanent shelters with basic amenities is set to be inaugurated for returnees. German ambassador to Nigeria and UNDP representative unveiled the mass housing projects.
The housing project is also a great example of cooperation between the government of Borno State and international partners. Funding for the housing units comes both from the state government and from the partners in the regional stabilization facility, namely Germany, EU, UK, Netherlands and Sweden, and I want to thank all the other partners. Germany, I can promise, will continue support wherever it can.
The Borno State government contributed 500 additional shelter units and a modern vocational and skills acquisition center for unemployed youth, and we want to give His Excellency a round of applause again.
1,874 families from 14 communities are to benefit from the housing projects. Governor Babagana Zulum also presented food, non-food items and cash to the returnees.
This project signifies our commitment to resettling our people in the ancestral homes within the framework of the Borno State Recovery Plan, as well as sustainable solutions to mass displacement. So far, we have achieved a significant success in providing decent shelter, sustainable livelihood, and critical infrastructure to all resettled communities in northern and southern Borno State, as well as Borno Central.
This housing project aligns with UNDP's regional stabilization effort in restoring peace in communities around the Lake Chad region. Local farmers and herders who lost their means of livelihood as a result of the 13-year insurgency. They are here to benefit from the first ranch settlement in the state. Among them is 59-year-old Yakura Umar, who is happy to be part of today's beneficiaries. Minister of Livestock Development Idi Mukhtar and Governor Babagana Zulum officially inaugurated the project.
Bismillahirrahmanirrahim.
The Garanam settlement is fashioned with modern facilities of housing estates, schools, health clinics, and veterinary services.
Support is not only merely a gesture, but a solid investment in the livelihoods of our citizens and a vital step in their journey towards self-sufficiency and a dignified manner. We are also handing over the sum of 50,000 naira to each of the heads of household. In addition, housewives will also receive 20,000 naira in addition to the wrappers, mattresses, and others. And I want to assure the people of Borno State that, inshallah, before the expiration of my tenure, Borno State government, under my distinguished leadership, will close all the IDPs, inshallah.
Today's commissioning of the settlement underscores government's commitment to modernizing the livestock sector. The ranch is not just a settlement, it is a symbol of hope, a symbol of resilience, a symbol of progress, fairness, and justice.
Commitment to what clearly will help drive economic growth uplift the lives and livelihoods of our people and provide employment for our citizens. This is what any good leader ought to do.
Each of the 461 households here will take home pairs of bull, heifers and goats as part of efforts to restore their livelihoods. Food, non-food items and houses are part of today's gesture. The Garinam Ranch settlement is one of the 3 ranching centers in the state, and the government reaffirms commitment to improving livestock rearing, which is the mainstay of most returnees. The 13-year Boko Haram insurgency has dealt a big blow to the livelihoods of people in the northeast region. The insurgency has killed thousands of civilians and also caused multidimensional devastation, which the World Bank estimates will cost about $6.2 billion. As peace gradually returns, there are still pockets of attacks by remnants of the insurgents. And now, the United Kingdom Defense Minister has promised to collaborate with the Nigerian military to ensure peace in the country. The Defense Minister commended the Nigerian military's efforts in fighting against insurgency across the region.
What I'm recognising is that Nigeria is one of our strongest partners here in West Africa. We support them with the regional activity that they have. We support that across the region as well as within Nigeria with some of the threats that they've had on the border. And the General and his troops, along with the government, have done an excellent job in dealing with that. There's a very strong relationship between our militaries, and it's something we wish to continue. And that's why our Prime Minister was very keen for me as a Defence Minister to come out here and talk to the General.
Theatre Commander Operation Hat in Kai Major General Waidi Shaibu is happy with the visit. He notes that this collaboration will ensure enhanced fight against insurgency bedeviling the country.
Their presence here today also reinforces that aspect of the mutual relationship between both countries and the provision of training assistance, which we are grateful for. The insurgency in the northeast is on the downward trend, and it is a work in progress. We'll continue to do our best to ensure that we achieve our mandate of restoring peace and in the northeast region, and to ensure that socioeconomic activities thrive. That the troops have been doing, and will continue to do that strongly to ensure we achieve our mandate.
The Nigerian military wants citizens to also play their part in fighting against insurgency, as security is a duty for all. Governance under Professor Babagana Zulum has no doubt brought socio-economic advancement to Borno State. Development has been all-encompassing, touching the lives of the most vulnerable persons in the state.
Security is very important. Without security, the resettlement is never feasible. People have to understand this very important phenomenon. But we should also have to understand that the worst form of insecurity is food insecurity. This is the worst form of insecurity. Thousands of people are kept in the internally displaced persons for about 6-7 years who have no access to the agricultural lands. And there is a donor fatigue now. The NGOs can no longer sustain feeding of our internally displaced persons. Government of Borno also can't. And therefore, the only solution left for us is for us to ensure that the IDPs are returned to their ancestral locations. That is one, where there is security. But where there is no security, they have to be relocated to areas where there is security. And that is why President Buhari has provided for the construction of over 10,000 housing units to internally displaced persons to be relocated. We have started relocation, but we are very mindful of the security situation. For us to return population to their villages, we must have clearance from the Nigerian army that the areas of return are safe, and that is why IDPs have to be returned based on safe and voluntary manner, as enshrined in the Kampala Convention.
You've achieved quite a lot. Recently, the president was here and he commissioned some of the projects you've accomplished, and he says he's impressed with this. What should people of Borno expect from you in your second phase of administration?
They should expect more than what I did before.
Okay.
Yes, because it's not enough for me. Once you say, I say that what I did is quite enough, then I can't do much. For me, I think it's not enough. My dream to the people of Borno State are as follows. One, there should be an enabling environment for farmers and for businessmen, both small and medium-scale enterprises and large businessmen, to do their normal business activities without hitch. That means security will never be compromised. Agriculture is key.
Okay.
And then next, we want to create jobs as many as possible. And then most importantly, we want to ensure that we have teachers, doctors, and health personnel at our primary school level and primary health care systems. This is very key. Without having these key ingredients, security, agriculture, job creation, education, health and water supply, nothing will be feasible. Yes, we have built more homes. Yes, we have built more clinics. Yes, we have built more schools. But the most important thing is the human capacity development. We want to ensure that we have enough teachers, we have enough doctors. Right now, we don't have enough doctors. We don't have enough health personnel teachers. We don't have qualified teachers in our primary school. And I don't want to deceive people of Borno State that we have enough. We don't have. We don't have qualified teachers. And therefore, I shall provide more.
Your Excellency, talking about infrastructural development, we've seen a gigantic investment in that. And then Borno State is having, for the first time, a flyover. Can you talk us through this investment?
While the investment in infrastructure were done because of two main reasons. One, in order to provide services to the people, because these are services, essential services. You are getting what I'm saying? Two, we wanted to address the issue of unemployment. You can see thousands of homes that we build. Can you imagine how many hundreds, thousands of youths were recruited in the course of constructing these houses? So the nexus between infrastructure and job creation need not to be overemphasized. You can see the custom bridge and you can see thousands of youths that are gainfully employed in this area. This is one. The second aspect is for us to create access. For example, the Munagara, the custom bridge. Custom is one of the densely populated areas in Borno State, Maiduguri Metropolitan, one of the congested areas. Vehicular movement sometimes is very difficult. So we want to ease things to people. It's not by, we are not just saying, okay, we want to have bridge flyover. This is one of the recommendations that has been given to me by the Nigerian Society of Engineers. They worked and then they submitted a document to me during my electioneering campaign period. And indeed, the people of Borno that have requested that I should provide a flyover in the custom area and another flyover in the post office area. A feasibility study was conducted and then we found out that a flyover in the custom area is key. It's necessary. Why a flyover in the post office area is not necessary? Because we can expand the existing facilities to reduce the over-congestion. And that was the reason why we started this one. Road networks are very important. Even for us to ensure free movement of agricultural produce. So these are critical infrastructures that are meant to address the essential services requirements of the people, and then two, to provide jobs to the teeming population growth of Borno State.
Now, you talked about poverty alleviation, and you have invested massively on Vocational Institute. I visited one at Muna, and I saw the kind of machineries put in place. What's the philosophy behind that establishment?
Again, we want to address the root causes of the insurgency, which are not limited to pandemic poverty, pervasive illiteracy, and unemployment, among others. And that is why we created few vocational training centers in the state. And you have seen the vocational training center. It's not a glorified one. The vocational training center was well equipped. We spent nothing fewer than about 4 billion naira, or even more, to establish a vocational training center that has the capacity to provide training, 14 trades, training to our youths in the areas of 14 trades, ranging from electrical installations, tiling, plumbing, carpentry, among others. So my wisdom is to ensure that those that are trained, those that will be trained, will become self-reliant. We don't want people to depend on government, and then we want to create jobs, create opportunities that people will be on their own. And that has informed the decision of the government of Borno State to establish more vocational training centers and also renovate the existing vocational training centers. So I think we budgeted not less than about 20 billion naira in order to rehabilitate and then establish new vocational training centers in the state within the span of my administration. And so far so good, we have started well. And it is also one of my electioneering promises to the people of Borno State. It's one of the agenda of my tech-fact agenda.
Okay. So as the executive governor of Borno State, overseeing the hem of affairs of the state, what message do you have to your people?
My message to the people of Borno State is that we shall first of all unite together in trying to address the lingering problem of security in the state. Unity is very important. We have to work together as a team. And then we have to also collaborate with the Nigerian military and paramilitary with a view to meeting the state objectives. This is very important. Then my second call to the people of Borno State is that we shall be patient enough. We shall also collectively continue to pray for peace to reign in the state and in the nation at general. But most importantly, we shall never be lazy. We shall try to work so that we can earn our means of livelihood. Let's go to our farmlands. Let's work hard to sustain ourselves. Government alone can never sustain the people. This is key. Then the last but not the least is for the people to become resilient enough. If somebody wants to maintain peace in the state, sustainable peace in the state, then we must ensure, we must be resilient with a view to providing that the environment that is peaceful, environment that is cohesive. We have to also be very strong and defeat the insurgents also, while calling upon all those who are doing this bastardly act to surrender. Lay their arms. Most of them are our own children. Government of Borno State will open opportunities for them to come in and see how we can integrate them into the system. I express my sincere appreciation to all people of Borno State be it within or outside Nigeria, for the enormous support and enormous prayers that they have been rendering to me and indeed to the nation in general. I also want to use this opportunity to all Nigerians. In fact, my supporters cut across the length and breadth of the nation, and I remain eternally indebted to all of them. And I promise to become steadfast, to become more courageous, firm, and then committed ever than before to the noble objective of repositioning Borno State to greater heights.
Executive Governor of Borno State, Professor Babagana Zulum, thank you for your time on Borno Restoration. In the last 4 years, socio-economic growth in Borno has been at an all-time high. The state has continued to wear the stamp of prosperity and development. With relative peace now enjoyed by residents, life is back to normal. A laudable initiative by the state governor is the inauguration of 301st batch of road marshals of Borno State Traffic Management Agency, BOTMA. The state government, in partnership with the United Nations Development Programme UNDP, trained and equipped the marshals. The main objectives of establishing the agency is to bring discipline and sanity to the transport sector, as well as enhance revenue remittance.
Any organization that you are managing, at least you have to dedicate powers to others, because so far we have about 30 supervisors that are supervising all those 270 marshals. With the 30 supervisors that we have, with these 270 marshals, we have altogether we have 300 marshals. So I think everything is going as usual. Prior to existence of Borno State Traffic Management Agency, on a serious note, we have it has become a source of concern to the state, because there is no discipline in our state. So that is why the government planning deemed to establish this agency. To be sincere, if I tell you, up to now, the level of sanity that we have in this state is quite appreciable. Yes. And going forward, we need to bring so much sanity to the state, because we want to follow suit like in the other state, Lagos and Kaduna and the Kano state. So very few you're going to see significant changes in the state by God with us.
The agency, since its establishment, has generated over 200 million naira revenue to the state government.
Primary function of this Borno State Traffic Management is to protect the life of, to provide safety of life and property, and it's also a revenue generation farm. If you look at it, in the last 5 months, we are able to generate almost 260 million naira to the state. I'm hoping before the end of the year, we'll do more.
Residents of the state appreciate the laudable initiative by the state governor.
I would say BOTMA are really trying, and there is a lot of improvement in the traffic management and in terms of discipline of road commuters in the state. Most of it, everybody that stays in Maiduguri knows that before, it is a normal thing to have keke napep riders recklessly driving tricycle during weddings. So, but now, if you can notice, a lot of these activities have stopped, because there is no place in Maiduguri now you will see somebody recklessly driving keke napep or running around with cars in the state, which in terms of discipline, we think it has gone a long way in improving the discipline aspect of the road commuters.
People use keke napep to steal handset, enter people's house, steal their goods. By this body number, we will be able to trace them. They are doing very good.
The state government is working assiduously to increase the numbers of marshals across the state.
Shakti
That's our package on this edition of Borno Restoration. But next week, we will be talking to residents of Borno State on their expectations for the new year. Thanks for watching. I'm Jessie Tafida, wishing you a prosperous new year.